Chat, here we go. We got ourselves quite the show match today. This one came out of the blue because apparently Jack wanted more smoke after his match against Lionblaze. We have got another player who is now playing in US East as well, in Yan. Yanxnz, I believe that is a $20 donation to the prize pool from Euro Trash. Thank you. They are now playing for 20 bucks. It is going to be a best of 7. We asked them whether they wanted to play best of 5 or 7. They chose 7. I think Jack said he could play either, and Yan wanted to play in 7. He is playing in his Furia decal. Check it out. The Furia decal, the blue, and he's actually got the wheels to match it. This is a nice setup from Yan to start this show match. All the decals just came out earlier today. If you didn't know, you're probably watching this a couple days from now. But Yan has looked like one of the best 1v1ers in the game, and not really a better player to test it against than ApparentlyJack. Have these guys played on US East before? Because when Jack was in EU and Yan was in SAM, they could have played on similar-ish ping if they had played on US East. But I don't think they have played before. I think they played at LANs, right? They did a best of 7 at LAN before. Why do I feel like these guys have played each other? Chat, you can correct me if I'm wrong. But they are going to play again, this time as residents of North America, as opposed to just finding each other in the same location for a few weeks. They played on a local match at Worlds. Yeah, on Johnny's stream. Yeah, that sounds right to me. And I forget, who won that one? Was it Yan or was it Jack? I'm trying to remember. My memory is clouded right now. I'm sure if I wasn't streaming, I could have told you on a dime who won it. Whenever you hit the go live button. Jack won. Okay, that's what I thought. Thank you, Virgil. With another $30. Gotta remind these guys that they're playing for 50 bucks now. I'll tell them as the next goal goes in that the stakes have risen just a little bit for this matchup. Jack deciding to just carry this ball away. He is playing a very aerial focused style against Lionblaze in his earlier match. But Lionblaze didn't let him get away with it for very long. Or actually, you know what? It wasn't so much his aerial focused game as it was his very passive defense. He was just driving back to net every time he didn't have the ball, and he kind of turned that around towards the latter end of the series and was able to come back and send it to Game 5. Or actually, I think Lionblaze is the one who sent it to Game 5, but he took over Game 5 and was able to get that win. Now, can he get the same win against Yan? Yan trying to work down this orange half. Jack with only 12 boost. Looking to flick, I'm sure, with a ton more power towards the net. But instead, flies past the ball. And Yan, too high of a bounce dribble. He couldn't protect it. He was hoping to low 50 if Jack came to challenge early, but he couldn't do it with that high of a bounce. And Jack, talking about high bounces, was trying to go for the highest ground double I think I've seen anybody go for. And the ball will not make it back up to him in time. Yan, the low 50. And this time he does bait Jack into making a poor challenge, and it's 4-1. I'll let them know. $50 prize as of now. OMG, this is Rocket League indeed. Jack gonna use the flip to start the bounce dribble. This is a really great bounce dribble. It's gonna be real tough for Yan to save it, but he actually does. You can see Jack going for low 50 or even a cut back to the other side of the net. And Yan actually positioned so well on the ball to end that dribble and not panic on any of the potential hook shots that Jack could have taken. Now he just barely misses off the crossbar. Put himself up 5-1. Jack is going to pre-jump on the wall. He doesn't want to roll up the side wall and give the window for Yan to take the ball away. You get to the ball a little bit quicker when you jump from the ground. But the end result is a play that is not as threatening as it would have been if he had rolled up and taken the air dribble from underneath the ball. Jack not going to try and bump Yan on the back wall, and Yan's not going to try and bump him. Those are definitely spots where players will try and just go for demos when they find each other on the wrong side of the ball. You just demo the other player on the way back and then go from there, but neither of them wanted to do that. Both just waited patiently for the ball to come down. Now Jack off the ceiling gets a reset on the ball. The catch, the flick! Look at this shot from Jack! This is so clean. Yan never knows when he can challenge. As soon as he thought he could, you can see him turning towards the play just a little bit. That's when Jack uses the flip first and gains another one and just keeps pushing Yan farther and farther back into net before he finally flicks it over the top of him. But it's going to need a bit more offense, and no better way than a two-pointer. The goal at the midfield and then the immediate kickoff goal. The 1v1 two-pointer. Can he turn it into a three-pointer with another solid kickoff? It's going to be harder to do on this diagonal. We saw Jack fake it a bit in the previous game. Yan's going to fake it as he turns off the ball to try and get a handle on this game that could get away from him. He let Jack get too much momentum. He's got 100 boosts now, and he's just patiently waiting for Jack to give him the ball, which he eventually does. Full field dribble, his reset. Tries to go over the top of Jack, but it was at the cost of being able to get it in the net. And Jack knew that he was covering everything. Didn't feel bad about the ball making its way over the top of him. As long as it hits the back wall, he should not be worried, let alone not only not be worried, but can prep for a counterattack the other way. Jack is going to get 100 boost and control of the ball. Doesn't get better than that in this kickoff, and he catches and flicks towards the net before Yan can challenge. Yan not protecting the net at all as he takes this backcourt boost. Look at this really wide swing. I mean, that is going to get you punished. Jack didn't even place that ball on the far side of the net. He just barely got it inside the net. He put it as far right as possible to still be able to score, which should, in theory, be easy for Yan to save. Yan just swung so deep into that corner that he could not make a play. Jack is going to launch this one at net. It's going to be easily saved. Yan has more than enough boost to eventually take control of this one. He actually clipped himself on the post, but when you are Yan, you can just easily catch yourself. Jack tried to catch him out of position and chip the ball over the top of him, and Yan just used it as a setup for his dribble. Just didn't have enough boost to finish it off in the end. He's going to go steal his corner as he sees Jack chasing him down. Yan, a cut straight towards the net, and Jack actually pre-jumped it and made it possible for Yan to score. Jack, was he worried about the air dribble bump? Because, oh, he just was trying to decide whether or not he's going to early challenge. You could see him kind of swaying back and forth between going back to net and pressuring the ball, and in that moment, Yan just flipped it over the top of him. So a tie game in this game number one. Jack launching this one at net. Yan just going to toss it to the ground. And the next goal decides who takes the early lead. Kickoff fairly neutral in the sense that the ball goes straight to the side wall. But Yan definitely coming out the winner as he grabs 100 boost and he tries to slam it past the pre-jump of Jack, and he succeeds in doing so. Jack wanted to stop the air dribble. We've seen him pre-jump in these positions all day long, but this is a good counter to that pre-jump. He was hoping to stop any air dribble play from Yan, but it wasn't an air dribble. It was a boom and a double, and a game one lead for the Brazilian in the U.S. Game number two, Yan and ApparentlyJack. A close one in the first bout between the two. Yan looking for a quick double. What a shot. Hard to hit these in ones. One of the places you can do it is when you win a race to the midfield boost. This is why you don't want to go to the race at all if you don't think you can win it. But even then, Jack shouldn't have been too worried. It was going to take an absolute pop-off from Yan to be able to score it before his recovery. The problem is, you can't bet on Yan not popping off. The man is made of pop-offs. He's going to stay on this ball. Despite not getting the boost advantage, he sees that Jack is awkward. Jack able to pin it to the back wall before it crosses over the net. Jack now, delayed flick. We saw him dice Lion Blaze up with that earlier. Instead of just holding on to the fake the whole way, though, he does flick fairly early. Yan trying to dribble this so quickly that he brings the ball into Jack very early. Makes it possible for Jack to challenge him before the dribble even really gets started. But now he's definitely got a dribble that is more than started before Jack comes to challenge, as Jack is just fully shadowing. And you can see Yan very intentionally prioritizing the movement to the back corner to try and win the race, but he still didn't. Now Jack from the ceiling, such a fast play. Gonna go for the 50. He tried a backwards wave dash maybe to get to that ball. I'm not sure what Jack was going for there, but he wanted to get an angle to shoot that before Yan's recovery, I'm sure. Yan is just patiently waiting for Jack on this one. Jack goes for that delayed flick again. And he has to pre-jump this recovery. He got Yan to not immediately shoot, and he covers the 50 as well. What a great recovery from Jack. And he has just been playing at 110% speed when it comes to counterattacking. He does not want to slow down. And this is what happens a lot to players who refuse to slow down in those positions, is they have a tough time executing. And they give free nets, but it's a risk that Jack seems willing to take. Thank you for the $10 donations, Mika. We will make it a $60 prize pool now. Jack has done this a few times where he loses the kickoff to his corner, but then takes control of the ball in the 100 boost, so not really a loss. Playing with fire a little bit if he's trying to kind of intentionally lose them there, because it's a razor's edge between that and the ball slamming off the sidewall and directly into your net. Jack cannot dice up Yan, who's able to push the ball off the back wall and recover in net before the next shot. He's going to toss this one slowly in for a third. Yan's movement seems sped up. That can be the case when watching the best players move. There's so many different comments that you'll get on the YouTube videos that are, why is the game 1.25 speed? Or why is the game sped up a little bit? It's like, no. No, I'm sorry. You just exposed yourself. You've never seen the car move that fast. And it's not because the game's sped up. It's because these guys are just that quick. Jack trying to fall from the ceiling to make something work. The boost is going to spawn underneath Yan. Jack's going to dribble this high near the ceiling, never giving Yan an opportunity to challenge. But the problem is you have to bring the ball down eventually if you want to score it. So Yan waits there to make the save. And now the same dribble the other way. The musty needed a tad more height. Jack able to get the save and not even use too much boost in the process. But can he hold on to this possession with anything left over? It seems like he will. He's able to steal the midfield. So now he's got a bounce dribble straight towards net. The delayed musty, it's too high. Jack has had some impressive mechanical plays that have ended with booming the ball into the back wall instead of the net. And unfortunately, those are basically own goals in 1v1. Scoreless for Jack. Not often in 1v1 does anybody go scoreless for the entire game. Still a ton of time left. But Yan has kept him at 0 for at least 3 minutes and 30 seconds. Single jump to dodge the demo and then side flip to grab the boost and land perfectly on the side wall. It's all second nature for a guy like Yan who recovers with ease. Jack, your wall dashes aren't going to save you as he explodes out of his own half with his 100 boost advantage. Jack, once again, going to get an advantage on this kickoff. I was going to say finally, but he has gotten a couple advantages on a few different kickoffs. He's going to be able to turn it in for a goal for the first time. Just under 4 minutes it takes for Jack to get a goal. Very impressive one as well. Covering well on the back wall to get that play. And is this the spark that can ignite an insane comeback here in the final minute? Or will it be a 2-0 lead for Yan? This high air dribble is going to have to come down. It's going to pogo. He is! Jack! He scores a pogo off this car. This is not the way that Dark likes to run them, but it is another viable way to use the pogo, where you just surprise the defender with an early bounce by setting up your car as a much higher floor for the ball. And it pops over the top of Yan. We've seen Jack try to work that into his game a few different times, and Yan, who's going to try and stop the bleeding here a bit, will fake the kickoff into his back corner. Yeah, in the freestyle community, it's called Plan B, but as we all know, Yanxnz has officially banned every freestyler ever. Freestyling is no longer allowed, so you can no longer call it Plan B. Jack, the air dribble reset is not going to be enough, I don't think. He has 30 seconds to get 3. Oh, big miss. Wasn't even necessarily a fake at all, I don't think, from Yan. He's just turning away to prep for the touch. And game number 2 will go to Jack. By the way, I'm sure if you haven't been on Twitter, maybe you don't know in the Rocket League world, but recently a ton of freestylers have been banned for throwing games in casual. For intentionally losing games and tanking their MMR so that they can freestyle. So there's been much controversy. But for the record, Sonic doesn't actually care about freestyling. They appreciate freestyling. They just don't like people abusing the matchmaking system. (7-2) for Yan. 2-0 lead in this best of 7. Jack has a ton of time left to come back, but it's going to have to start soon. Freestyling is dead. Jack says beasts in response to being told the prize pool has been updated to $60. He appreciates you all in chat. And somebody in chat pointed out this is not Jack's play style. They speculated Chronic must be playing for him. Obviously, Chronic is not playing for him. But I think it is a good recognition of something that does seem obviously different about Jack. I haven't been watching his ranked videos since he's been putting them out in North America. I wonder if he's been playing the same kind of super speedy, slightly more aerial focused 1v1 style, because when Jack played his 1v1s, at least on show matches of mine in the past, he is such a grounded, such a calculated, slow, pick apart the defender type play style. And that's not what he's been playing here today, as he tries to pre-jump this air dribble from Yan and goes flying past it. Fennec Jack is different from Octane Jack. Oh, see that's the point. I didn't realize. Will we see Octane Jack come back out if he loses this game number 3? Yeah, and full field dribble. Somehow finds a way to get the reset and still make it a good shot. Seemed like it was going to be an impossible position to do so. We're talking about Yan here. Jack. A super greedy read that he went for on the back wall. Incredibly greedy. And the reason why I say greedy, because if he doesn't get the touch, he's flipping into the back wall and his recovery is going to be so slow. And maybe he gets it. Maybe Yan taps the ball right into where he's trying to predict it's going to go. And what happens? The ball rolls a little bit more out to midfield, but it's certainly not going to be like something he can quickly shoot off of, most likely. It just seems incredibly high risk for pretty low reward there. Jack from the ceiling. The catch, and he ends up just chipping it directly at Yan. It seemed like he was trying to cut it behind him, and that certainly would have been a shot that Yan would have a tough time saving, but he actually ended up just launching it fast enough in front of him. Either way, Yan's just kind of frozen. Anything that isn't just shot right at him, he's going to have a tough time saving. Jack kickoff win. Likely going to use his boost advantage to get up to this ball while he knows Yan is glued to the ground. Another one of these classic kickoffs. He actually is always losing it into his right corner as well. But what I don't understand is, why is he going for these high touches? It's not the first time he's done that from that same loss. It's almost like he feels pressured in that corner and has to get an immediate touch, when to me it seems like taking it to the ground would be the better option. There are certainly times where just making some kind of play in the air is better than trying to protect the ball to the ground, but it just doesn't seem like he's in those positions, even though he must think so. Double reset for Yan. No, not going to happen. Jack saves and counters. The punishment for going for a clip will be a goal the other way. Yan, once again, looking for these doubles off the back wall. This is something that not a lot of ones players do when they win the kickoff at the midfield. Not often are they just slamming the ball as hard as they can to the back wall to try and work with. We saw Yan hit that nasty double earlier with that same method. This time, doesn't really get anything out of it. Such a great reset. The way Yan grabs the reset as he just kind of tornado spins through the ball, it's almost like it's just a slight pit stop in his movement to get the reset. Not obstructing what he's doing at all. This time, though, a little bit more intrusive. Zip just taking it to the ground. Jack thinking about taking it to the back right corner, but Yan's not going to let him. Going to force him to make that pop earlier than he wants to. And what a catch and cut! The speed is too much. Yan didn't expect him to explode out of the back half that quickly. And couldn't stop him. Jack to the back wall. He got way too ahead of this ball. The fact that he's able to... Okay, he didn't. I was like, the fact that he's able to prevent this from just being a goal is pretty impressive in its own right, but he didn't. Just caught the ball and then got demoed. Jack, he got possession. He's going to hold on to it as long as Yan lets him. And he's able to bait him into a poor challenge. 28 boosts to work with, but Yan couldn't turn around to get a solid enough flip through the ball. Had to take that slight diagonal type side flip onto it, you know what I mean? It's not going to do a great job at pushing it out of Jack's control. Jack, the reset, takes it all the way to the ground. Not sure what he was hoping for, but fortunate for him, Yan's clear. Does not head towards the net. It heads to the corner and glues to the wall, so it gives Jack time to come back. He is going to pop the ball high as a bit of keep away because there is not a lot he can do here with low boost. Just gets taken off the map. Can Yan find a way to score it? Jack, that respawn will clear it away. I wonder if he'd have been able to get back if he responded on the other side, but the important thing now is that with a minute left to go, Jack has kept his net fairly clean and needs to continue to do so. If he wants to finish off this game number 3, put himself on the board, that clear is likely to get countered. Can he recover to it in time? Yan faking the huge hook shot. Jack did not fall for it. Stays patient in net, and the low 50 does not find its way in. Jack, a great defensive stand, but once again, he's going to hand over possession. It's like he wants to practice his defense here. This time, he's aggressive with the defense, and it's not going to work. Yan gets his 4th and has 23 seconds to try and get another. Big kickoff from Yan. You can tell, watching from his perspective, he is not going all in on this one, and it's got him a possession, but the touch is way too strong. Jack sees his opportunity to take it away, and now he's just going to try and stay on top of the ball to never give a window for Yan to take it over. Yan, it seemed like he was trying to pass that to himself with the double jump. Couldn't, but he actually has been able to keep this up. I don't think Jack has a ton of boost, so it's going to be Yan. Wall to air dribble. Jack threatening the high challenge. Yan gets it over the top of him. Yan is so clutch. The reset, you know he's going to be able to keep it up. Once he gets it past Jack, it's a walk in the park to the net. Jack was trying to be unpredictable and force it to be uncomfortable for Yan to get that dribble without dropping it to the ground, and yet Yan found a way because he's Yan. Overtime, we thought Jack was going to be able to get his first win. Yan's on the verge of going up 3-0. Touch to the back wall puts Jack in an awkward spot. Yan's going to do it again. Jack deciding to be a bit more passive this time. Challenges out to the ball. Gets just enough on it. Yan's going to steal his boost, and Jack is in a worse and worse spot as time goes on. Yan just, I mean, he almost just gave up the game, right? No, yeah, he just fully gave it up. Wow. Fortunate for Jack, because Yan had all the boosts in the world, could have continued to break him down, but what does he do instead? He just passes the ball to Jack for a long shot that ends the game. So Jack just barely holds on, gets his first game of the series. A super clutch 0-second goal from Yan, but he couldn't pull it off in overtime. Game number 4. Yan and Jack. Jack able to get his first, and he's going to start with another lead. Jack snaking on his way to this kickoff, and yet still seemed to be the first one there. Trying to push it left. He's going to try and push it left again. This time loses it slightly into his half, but lose is maybe not the best way to say it, as he does grab boost and gets the dribble, but again takes it away quickly. Reset off the wall, puts it over the top of Jack. He saw his opportunity. Jack creeping up just enough to not be able to get up straight in the air. He did so because, one, keeping your momentum out of the corner is important to making a good save. You can't slow yourself down too much. That's probably the biggest reason. But two, you can't cover that far post if he doesn't keep his speed as well. Jack, he's going to strike right back. Yan's got to throw him the nice one. Off the wall. Oh, Yan thought he could challenge early. Look, he turned infield. I was wondering why this was such an easy attempt for Jack. I mean, don't get me wrong, it was a great shot, but tons of times in kickoff situations, a defender goes back and they get a save on a low shot like that one because it ultimately crossed the goal line fairly low. But the reason why it scored is because Yan had turned infield way too late, thinking about challenging Jack at the midfield, and then recovered far too slow. Yan's going to get another one. Just playing a bit of keep away as Jack tries to get a touch on the ball. Yan just slowly hacky sacks it all the way into the net. Oh, yeah, that's just a freebie. Jack trying to steal his boost, trying to get an advantage here. Yan just sees it, says, oh, okay, bud. You take that boost, I don't care. Jack had been trying to push these kickoffs left, but took this one right. I wonder if we're going to be able to see what he did here. Yeah, very intentional setup on the left side of the ball, push to the right, wins it into a quick kickoff. Puts it into a quick goal. This one he pushes left and wins again. Not able to create anything out of his first touch. Yeah, and oh, he didn't steal the boost. He tried to slow down too early. So Jack actually just fell over the top of him and got the 100. Jack's trying to be ultra aggressive here at the midfield. So Yan, if he can keep this high enough and fast enough, could keep it away from the Jack recovery, but he did not do so. Jack does make it back. Yan with all the space in the world. Didn't want to kill the dribble as much as he did. Jack is going to wait on the goal line, and did he not learn his lesson from Line Blaze? Yan might be an even better striker than Line Blaze. In fact, it's probably not controversial to say that he is. And he's just going to slot it top left with all the space that Jack gave him. He just camped, waiting for the boost to spawn. Yan trying to stick around the ball. Make sure that Jack doesn't take control of this one easy. Making him work for it a bit, but he does still gain control either way. Look at that delayed flick. Ton of power on it. Still can't get it past the well-placed shadow defense of Yan. The crazy double is on net, but not going to be hard to save. Needs to have a ton of power to catch Yan off guard. He's got a reset, headed all the way to the net. Tried to go a little 50. Great defense from Jack to cover the potential flick and still not let Yan in through the ground. It is almost an impossible feat to do that effectively. So it should be noted that Jack deserves some credit for that save. Tried to dribble this past Yan, who convinced Jack to own goal. Yeah, I mean, he did. It didn't go in immediately, but he owned goal. Yan was avoiding the bump, I think, at the corner, and then Jack, in an attempt to kind of play the possession back into his half, just owned goal. Oh, he thought he owned goal. He flipped away because he thought it was just directly in. Because he definitely could have tried to get a pinch or something to push it away. But he essentially owned goal instead by assuming that he already did. Yeah, and it's just camera checking to see if Jack is going to try and challenge him early. It didn't matter. I mean, he got the read. What else can you ask for by moving your camera? He knows Jack is going to come get him. He maybe tried to accelerate it past him because of that. Jack still gets there in time, and then is quicker to the ball off the bounce. Jack, sidewall dribble. His reset cannot be used before Yan takes it away. Yeah, an interesting decision. He's going to double jump pop this directly at net. Go for the boost steal. See if he can further break down Jack, who has done a decent job of escaping here. And the boost is going to spawn at the midfield at the perfect time. Yeah, and another double and another goal. He uses the double off the back wall more than anybody else. And these are the positions you can get away with it when you have that defender right there at the midfield with you. Jack actually overran the potential read. If he had slowed it down a bit more, he might have been able to make that save in stride instead of having to jump and peel back. Try and stop Yan, who's got a reset now. He's not going to use it because he's so far out from the net. Jack is nowhere near him. He'd only used the flip to push it over the top of an early challenge that was never coming. The problem for him is he could not protect said dribble for very long after he hit the ground. It will be a 1-goal distance between him and Jack as Jack tries to work his way back. Not just in this game, but in the series as a whole, down 2-1. Yan catch. Somehow this worked out. I was actually going to say that was a very poor catch from Yan because he just shot the ball so far forward. But luckily for him, Jack tried to pre-jump it, and he pre-jumped it all the way over the ball. And Yan's going to get a free goal. That was a very fortunate turn of events for Yan, who I felt like was just handing the ball away. Jack's going to hand the ball away to Yan here, as he'll be able to easily slam his power shot in for an 8th. Jack was, I think, hoping to take that ball a bit more into the corner, as he was trying to have his cake and eat it too by gaining possession and flipping into the corner boost. But he did not get the possession part. Jack from the sidewall looking to play keep away. He's going to need a reset to finish it off. And even though he doesn't score, that last bit of boost and that bit of all-in play that he made was essential to buying himself a bit of time. He's still going to end up getting scored on, but if he doesn't fully commit to that, it's even worse, I think. But what he needs is he needs Yan to make the save and fall into the net afterwards, which is what he got by milking out those last few inches with all the boost he had. He wasn't able to handle it in the follow-up. I still think he was right to try and find something there. 30 seconds. He's got a quick kickoff goal. He's going to need another 3 of those. Yan gets forced into the ball this time around on a very similar kickoff. He is not going to slow down his offense. Full field dribble. Falling in front of the ball. His recovery needs to be clean here. And it is clean enough. I think it's going to be a Yan 3-1 lead. Jack will have to get 3 straight games if he wants to win in the series. If anything, this confirms that Energy are back in form. Wait, what? What's going on with chat? You guys are wilding out, I think. The fact that I turn over and I see that. Somehow this confirms Energy is back in form. I don't understand. How did we get there? Game number 5. Yan up 3-1. Can Jack work his long way back in the best of 7? $60 on the line to do so. And it's going to start with an initial kickoff goal that comes from a high lob Yan just can't deal with. Oh, actually own goaled it. Never mind. Jack up to the air. Can he make something out of this reset? I would actually say that he did. The fact that he got back to the ball, and then was actually sort of threatening a shot is a miracle considering how the setup started. And patiently waiting, flipping out to the midfield here, not to use any of his 88 boost. So we can hold on to all of it to make this outplay, and he's going to need about 200 if he wants to somehow shoot this. He does get back to the ball in time. Jack will early challenge, noticing the awkward position of his opponents, and dove a bit too deep into the orange, or sorry, the blue corner. And Yan will slam it to full field. Jack, a catch and dribble, another poor first touch, I would say, that he is trying to make something out of. And he's not going to make anything out of it this time. It'll be a Yan goal. Yan on the dribble setup off the kickoff. Just going to slowly pop this ball over the top of Jack, who had a ton of boost to work with. Tried to get it doubled, but didn't realize he was as close to the wall as he actually was. Or maybe he was just thinking he was going to be able to air roll in time and was wrong. Because if he lands on the wall with all his wheels, it's probably good to make another play on the ball, but he just kind of bonked. And he's doing this thing again where he looks like he's doubling on his own net that he did against Line Blaze. It works out much better this time. Instead, he doubles into his corner. And now he's got an air dribble. He's going to use his reset to lob the ball low. Yan's going to be able to get an easy enough save. Now Yan looking for yet another double. If he finds this angle, I would be incredibly impressed, but he does not. Jack, air dribble bump potentially? No, he just turns back to the ball for the reset. I said air dribble bump because he found himself in front of the ball, and almost always when players, whether intentionally or not, find themselves in front of the ball, they just continue it for that bump. Yeah, and this reset leads to nothing. Who gets cut up by Yan and his movement to the boost. So now Yan has the corner and the midfield. Jack is having to work off pads. You see him rotating out of net to pick him up, and it's not going to be enough. Yan's going to push it over the top of him. Could he have made the save with 36? Oh, he took such a wide swing, I guess, to just challenge the ball from the side wall is what he really wanted. (4-1). Approaching halfway, 10 seconds until we're halfway through this game number 5, which could be the final game if Yan keeps up this trajectory. He has looked so solid in his matches recently. And I'm sure it'll mean a lot to redeem himself against Jack after what I think we confirmed was a Worlds LAN 1v1 loss. Jack, so patient. This is Jack of old. This is the Jack 1v1 that I feel like I've watched tons of hours of, which is just this ever so slow, daunting dribble as he works towards your net. The panic in your heart as you cannot decide what to do. And you end up making a poor challenge, and he'll take his free goal. Jack trying to gain control of this kickoff, and he has done so, courtesy of a Yan pop up to the back wall. A double from Jack! Look at this shot from Jack! The creativity to just use what he was given by Yan's chip up the wall. He saw the ceiling reset into the backboard double as the best way to get it past him. What a shot from Jack. Bringing himself within one. The two ends of Jack's play in the most recent goals. The daunting, slow 2-mile-an-hour dribble that feels inevitable, as well as the insane mechanical play all the way from the ceiling. The problem is that this slow dribble ends up just handing the ball to Yan for a 5th goal. Jack, wall to air dribble off the kickoff. Has his reset and is falling from the ceiling at a perfect position. Used it just to push himself a bit higher. And I tell you what, off what felt like a great setup. Not much came from it. So he wasn't really able to stick with the ball. Probably a bit too slow. But he was going to take everything he had just to get it to net. 6-3 fake kickoff. Certainly, Yan has been using the fakes more often on these kickoffs. He prefers to do it on the diagonals. Yan now from the back corner. What a shot to get this over the top of Jack and not put it off the back wall while avoiding the pressure from the oncoming defender. It is so hard to do correctly, and he does it with ease. 7-3. Yan, the man he just might be, with a minute 21 left to go. Jack needs 4 goals, and it's going to start from controlling the kickoffs. And he is very shakily controlling this one, but I would say he's going to come out on top. Yan has forced him to pinch this all the way into the back corner, and a bit of tilt maybe from Jack as he 360s his way into a missed wave dash in the corner. Certainly not the carb movement you would expect to see from somebody fully believing in the comeback and pushing as hard to get a quick goal, but you never know. You could see Jack find a way to find some offense here in the next 45 seconds. Jack trying to pre-flip into this ball. He needs to. He needs to be in control of it, and he is not. He is just floating in the back corner. So I have a feeling this is Jack conceding the series win. The $60 in the best of 7 going to Yan. You would have won the best of 5 as well, though. Yan's the man, confirmed here today against ApparentlyJack. Now that he's in US East, we got to hope to get him against a ton more opponents because he is such an exciting player to watch. And I have a feeling he could have the edge over just about everybody. One more for Yan, 8-3. A 4-1 win in the best of 7. He says sorry. Jack says this is Rocket League, but GG's. Thanks for playing. Hearts all around. What a performance from Yan and Jack both. It'll be Yan who takes the win, and he'll take it in 5.